What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of the Crypto Breakdown. I am your host, Ryan Matta. Coin of the day, Flux. Can this coin 2x, 5x, 10x? I definitely think so. This coin has such massive upside potential. If you guys have been in the crypto space for a short period of time, I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase money leaving exchanges. Anytime these whales talk about price going up or Bitcoin going down, they always refer back to the phrase money is leaving exchanges. So I want to break down and show you guys exactly how I think Flux has potential to hit a price point of $290 by 2024, roughly I think like a 265x. And this isn't me shilling, this is me keeping it real. I'm going to fully break it down. It's going to be quick, so buckle up those seatbelts, dial in those diamond hands, and let's get it. And of course, as always, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor and never advise that you buy, sell, trade, or hodl any cryptocurrency. Always need to consult with your own financial advisor before making any investing decisions. So I always like to break it down for the absolute beginner. So how is market cap calculated? Market cap is circulating supply times price equals market cap. So right now, Flux has a circulating supply of roughly 225 million coins out in circulation. They have a price point of roughly $1.75. We take supply times it by price. That gives us a market cap roughly of $400 million. So just to give you guys an idea, when Bitcoin hit its peak global market cap, when it had a price point of 68,500 with a circulating supply of 18.95 million, global market cap was $1.3 trillion. So globally, worldwide, across every exchange, there was roughly $1.3 trillion invested into Bitcoin. So to give you guys a better understanding, at peak global market caps, Bitcoin was 1.3 trillion, Ethereum 575 billion, XRP in 2017, 137 billion, Binance 100 billion, Cardano 94 billion, then the blockchain doesn't even work, Dogecoin, Memecoin 89 billion, Solana 80 billion, Polkadot 55 billion, Shiba 41 million, Luna 38 million, Avalanche 30 million. Taking a look at a project like Flux, if Flux had a price point of $400 million today, for you to 2x and price to go to 350, market cap would need to go to 800 million. 10x and go to 1750, market cap would be 4 billion. 35x, 8 billion. 100x, $175, market cap would need to be 40 billion. And we're going to circle back to my actual price predictions, but where I'm going with this is take a look at the inception of Flux nodes. So Flux started off in 2018 at inception with roughly 100 nodes running. Price point was 2 cents, give or take. By January 1st of 2019, Flux had deployed 300 nodes. Price runs up to $4. Between 2019 and 2020 was the absolute most bearish the markets have ever been. Flux deploys another 200 nodes. Price stays the same, but market cap doubles. Obviously, a lot more coins came out into circulation. Then we go into 2021 and Flux increases nodes to up to 1,300 nodes. Price runs up to 8 cents. Market cap's roughly $5 million. Not too long after, we found Flux. Flux is about 30 cents or 28 or 38 cents, somewhere in that price range. Flux gets another 1,200 nodes deployed between January 1st of 2021 and January 1st of 2022, and price goes absolute parabolic. Runs up over 500x, guys. Insane. Flux hit a peak market cap of $665 million. Today, Flux market cap's roughly 395 million, 400 million. I just round to keep it simple. And Flux has 2,646 nodes. Taking a look at ICP, and ICP I consider the worst VC shield project in the history of crypto that wrecked more traders than anyone. If Flux just flipped ICP and took ICP's market cap, you're talking about 11.25x from here. Flux would be up to $19.57. And when I say VC shield project, the ICO price ICP launched at was $460, and you can see by these charts it was an immediate sell-off. This was the biggest, worst VC shield crypto project in the history of crypto. And I say that because when a market cap starts out at $57 billion, meaning investors had $57 billion invested in this project when it was just a freaking white paper. It was just an idea. It launched at $57 billion, and guess who got devastated? Every single retail investor that thought that they could FOMO into ICP because it was going to be the next holy grail of projects. And what happened? They all got devastated. But check out that market cap, $57 billion. If Flux market cap gets up to $57 billion, you're looking at a $290 price point for Flux. Flux launched in 2018, no pre-mine. Market cap was under $1 million, and it stayed under $1 million for almost 3 years. So for 3 years, the retail investors had the opportunities to accumulate Flux. They had the opportunity to set up miners. There was no pre-mine. It was all fair launch. Flux has been reviewed on a global scale by however that is. You submit documents, they review it. They determine that you pass the Howey test. You're not a security. In the United States, they've also been reviewed by these committees, so they will not be considered a security. That is huge, but everything revolves around nodes and taking money off off exchanges. So let's dive into these partnerships, and I'm going to cycle back to the nodes, and I'm going to show you exactly what it's going to look like when Flux node halving happens, and the price of Flux is going to go absolutely parabolic. Flux and Zelcore inception, born 2018. Summer 2020, Flux acquires Presearch, the decentralized version of Google, aka maybe quite possibly even a decentralized version of YouTube. April 2021, Flux partners with KuCoin. Flux is officially launched on KuCoin and Flux trading competition. Win a share of 1 million Flux coins. Summer 2021, Flux Marketplace on Dash. Spring 2021, Flux launches parallel assets with Cadena. May 2021, Tron deploys nodes on Flux, so Flux infiltrates the Tron ecosystem. June 2021, Flux enters Binance and Ethereum marketplaces. June 2021, NVIDIA Jetson. So for the first time, NVIDIA steps up, partners with Flux, and creates NVIDIA's Jetson. CADX partnership announced October 2021. December 2021, Flux does 30 dApps in 30 days and proves their scalability and efficiency. December 26, 2021, Flux infiltrates the Solana ecosystem. January 2022, Flux has now infiltrated the Solana ecosystem and is directly connected with Phantom, the #1 crypto wallet in the entire world. In January of 2022, Flux is now partnered with NVIDIA, aka Inception. This was huge for Flux. Taking a look at the overall Flux ecosystem, you have a GPU mineable coin, you have Flux Labs mining pools, you have Flux-node enterprise services, you have Flux Advanced Cloud OS operating system. Flux now has their own operating system. They have an XDAO for community governance. They have the Zelcore multi-coin, multi-chain crypto wallet. They have Fusion, which is a blockchain bridge to almost every single ecosystem, and they have DeFi parallel assets on Flux. So now there is one key piece that's going to rapidly drive up the price of Flux. So if you guys have seen my Avalanche breakdown video where I show you exactly when Avalanche had 25 dApps on built on top of Avalanche, price was $30. Then it had 50 dApps, price was $50. Then they had 75 dApps, price was $100. And they had 50 more dApps, and the list goes on and on. Every time dApps get built on top of ecosystems, what that requires you to do is you guys go to an exchange, you guys buy some Avalanche, you take it over to a decentralized exchange, and you buy that low cap gem. That's taking money off exchanges. With Flux, it's a little different because Flux isn't launching a bunch of projects that are building on top of Flux that you guys want to run and grab Flux off an exchange and then go buy that asset. Flux has different ways of generating revenue using their Linux distribution model. So what takes Flux off exchange is people like me and you buying and holding for the long term. But what really drives rapid adoption and what not only takes that money off exchanges, but keeps it locked up off exchanges are the Flux nodes. Once you have a Flux node up and running and that node is generating passive income, the odds of you selling your Flux are a lot slimmer than you going and looking at whatever coins you have stuck on KuCoin. Oh, you need money. Okay, I got Flux over there. I'm going to sell it off. The idea is to get people to take their money off exchanges. So this is the single most important factor that I think really is going to separate Flux from the rest. And if Flux deploys and executes on what I'm saying flawlessly, this could be the biggest rally that we've seen in crypto history, at least in 2022 anyways. So let's jump into it. So if we jump over here and we take a look right now, to set up a Flux node, you need roughly 10,000 Flux. A majority of people don't have 10,000 Flux because the price for that would be 17,500, let alone 25,000, or a Stratus node, 100,000. Now you can see their different payout bases. So you're getting, for a Cumulus node, you're earning 7.5% block rewards every month. So that Flux node is going to earn you 7.5%. This one will earn you 12.5%, and the Cumulus earns you 30%. That is an insane passive income. Anybody that has enough Flux to set up a node should be doing so if and only if it was easy, and we're going to dive into that point next. So the new Flux node structure is going to be 1,000 Flux, 12,500 Flux, and 40,000 Flux. So as this next node halvening happens, and anybody that's holding, I would say 600 Flux, is going to be highly incentivized to go buy another 400 Flux, take it off an exchange, and get these nodes set up. Now these nodes are extremely difficult. And when I say extremely difficult, there should be a cut and dry process. You own a Windows computer, you have this operating software, you download this program, you do it like this step by step by step. And I think that the Flux team should go to Walmart, buy a Windows computer right off the shelf, and try to set up a node on that Windows computer, right? And then they should go buy an Apple computer and do it on Apple. Then they should go buy a Linux computer and they should do it on a brand new fresh computer right off the shelf. Then they should go grab an old Windows computer from Salvation Army and try it on that operating software. There should be a how to set up a node tutorial for every single operating software, for every single error that you might get. Same with mining, right? Once you get the community to the point where they can easily set up a node, and I'm talking so easy that it's as easy as NiceHash. Now I know Flux isn't going to go to like the one click of a button, which just blows my mind that they have this much money, and then a single play like this would make the biggest impact on price. It would grow the community at a rapid rate. I know personally I've tried setting up a node. Shout out to your friend Andy. If you guys haven't checked out your friend Andy, when it comes to Flux and nodes and setting up, he is the man. Hands hands down, no questions asked. I had Andy try to help me. It was just issue after issue after issue, and it's to the point where you have to have certain passwords, so it's not like I could just, anybody from YouTube I would trust to like remote into my computer and kind of help me walk me through the process. It's something that I think the Flux team needs a dedicated person for, or somebody that does nothing but make YouTube videos on how to set these nodes up. Getting the proper documentation, making it so simple that your grandma can go onto Coinbase, buy some Flux, send it over to a Zelcore wallet, and within 30 minutes, watching a few YouTube videos, walk through the process every step of the way. And there should also be a community forum where people are having issues, that here's how you solve these issues. Every single day, if they find a new issue, there should be a new YouTube video out on how to fix that issue, until it is so easy that your grandma can literally go buy Flux and set up a Flux node. There is nothing in the game right now. I don't care what partnership Flux signs. We've seen them sign NVIDIA partnerships. It was good for the price. We've seen them acquire assets. We've seen them launch more parallel assets, but we haven't seen that rapid growth from the original time that it went up. When we first started making videos on Flux, it ran up, but nothing's really been taking a massive amount of Flux off an exchange. And that's what I call the supply shock. So just based off of my estimates, and by my estimates, I mean, if you come over to CoinMarketCap and you search any address, by right click, open link in new tab, I can click the holder button and I can see exactly how many wallet addresses are holding exactly how much Flux. Like this wallet's got 13,000, this one has 12,000. So any of these wallets that have over 10,000, I would assume that they may or may not already have a node set up. So I excluded anybody that has over 10,000 Flux. I assume that they already have a node. So then we go down and we see this person down here has 9,000 Flux. They're probably gonna buy the extra 300, set up a 10,000 tier node. And the list goes on and on. So I went through every blockchain. I went through Ethereum, I went through Tron, I went through Solana, and I went through BSC. So I went through every one and I averaged the amount of wallets that I thought would be holding enough Flux to potentially set up a node that currently aren't running nodes. On Ethereum, I calculated we could have roughly another 1,000 nodes. On Binance Smart Chain alone, there was 700 wallets that were holding enough Flux to set up a smallest tier node. So that's 5,000 nodes right there coming from Binance. Solana, I was able to calculate another 1,000 nodes. Tron's about 1,500. So you take that total, 5,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, that's 8,500 nodes we could potentially see come online just from Tron, Solana, Binance, and Ethereum. Now, how many people have Flux in a Zelcore wallet that have enough to set up a node? I would estimate roughly 5,000 that currently don't have nodes running. That gives us an increased node velocity of 13%, even if it was just 10,000, right? I underestimated 10,000 people taking 1,000 coins of Flux off an exchange would be a supply shock of 10 million Flux. 10 million Flux getting removed from the market today would be a 22% supply shock. The last node increase going from 1,300 to 2,500, or we could even say going from 500 to 2,500, took Flux from 4 cents to $3.12. So what do you think it's going to look like when another 7,500, if not another 10,000 nodes all turn on pretty much at the same time? So a supply shock like that, based off my current estimates, would put Flux up around $25.25, giving it a market cap roughly of $4.8 billion at some point late 2022, early 2023. I think going into 2025, as every single blockchain that we've already seen, these big players, Tron, Cadena, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Nexus, Polkadot, and Avalanche, all utilizing Flux. And why I'm so bullish on this is because Flux is offering what Amazon AWS charges you like $1.65 per gig of storage, and Amazon AWS generates 65% of Amazon's revenue yearly. Flux is charging you nothing. It is free. Well, it costs you 200 Flux. You have to buy 200 Flux, you stake it, and then you get that back after 6 months. So it's completely free for these businesses. All these businesses have to do is Dockerize their app. They can hire a third-party independent company to do it in a couple days. They Dockerize their application. That way it can communicate and be hosted on Flux servers. It stands up on Flux servers, and then nobody can shut it down. We hear about Amazon AWS outages all the time. Networks go down, websites don't work. We've seen a lot of centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges that were stood up on Amazon AWS. When it goes down, business goes down. They're losing millions. Flux never goes down. Flux, I think, almost has 100% runtime, if not really high up there, like the 99 percentile. Flux almost never shuts down. It's 100% decentralized. And when the SEC and all these regulations start trying to regulate these blockchains, like we see Uniswap unlisting assets, they're doing all these rules because they got the hand on the throat, just, choking them, saying, hey, if you guys don't do this, we can go right around your back. We can go to Amazon AWS. We can have you shut down. So what you see is all of these applications, Solana, Tron, Ethereum, Binance, Polkadot, Avalanche, all standing up infrastructure, CADX, Cadena on Flux. They're standing up their nodes and running their nodes on Flux. That is massive. Cadena's enterprise blockchain alone, their private blockchain, has I think 1,300 nodes stood up on Flux. Look what ICP did. The biggest VC shield project, the worst, had a $57 billion market cap. If Flux had a $57 billion market cap, today would be $290. There is very few assets like this that no matter how the market conditions are, that I'm bullish on. So here we go again, one last time. If they make it easy, right? It is so hard to set up a Flux node. I had help from Andy. I couldn't do it. Dan's offered to help me a few times, didn't have time. They need to make this so easy. And if they do, that one single point will send this coin to the moon. You guys see how big the Flux army is, how strong the Flux army is. When price starts going up, they take over Twitter. So if they make this node halvening switch and I can go upstairs on my computer and I can set up a Flux node within a couple hours, oh boy. I personally would have made probably 5 to 10 videos on how to set up a Flux node right now. So that's people like myself creating content that would have created 10 times more content on Flux if I could have set up a node. But it was so difficult that I couldn't even set it up. So how could I teach it to anybody? That's the problem. The more easy they make this, the more YouTubers you're going to have making content, the more people you're going to have talking about Flux. You're going to start trending on every platform. And as soon as you start trending, you're going to take over social media. FOMO is going to run in. This is one of the greatest assets that I think that I found in years. It's right up there with Cadena and Flux because the tech is so there and there's such a high use case and they help decentralize the entire crypto year. Shut up, bro. Gotta go. Run. Peace.
Be calling, left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling.